Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th, with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.
Dogs love, once they see a person moving around, they're just really happy and they want to be like, oh, what are we doing? Are we playing? So they're really ready to just kind of get in there and play too. Well, I think the biggest thing when trying to take pictures of your dog is to really work on your basic commands. Your best friends are going to be sit and stay and maybe even down.
And if you've ever met a celebrity, you know how easy it is to feel starstruck around someone you admire.
I think probably my favorite part is we've been able to work with some really well-trained dogs that are, I guess you could say they're celebrity dogs. They've been on Broadway and been on commercials and TV shows and movies. And being able to work and see how those dogs are trained and what they can do is just absolutely amazing. And it's so much fun to be on set with them.
I'm Sarah Fensky. This is St. Louis on the Air. Kelly Pratt and Ian Kreidich are commercial photographers based in St. Louis. They specialize in dance and movement photography. Well, nearly 4 years ago, Kelly got an idea. What if we did photos of dancers with dogs? Maybe that sounds random, but they went for it, and friends at the Saint Louis Ballet were happy to be their models. Well, that project absolutely blew up. We're talking 41 million views for one recap video alone. And so, of course, then there was a coffee table book and a calendar, and now it's also a social media campaign to raise awareness about the wonderful dogs available for adoption through Stray Rescue. The campaign features characters from everyone's favorite holiday ballet and, yes, dogs. And they call it the Muttcracker. And joining us today to talk about this really beloved project are Kelly Pratt and Ian Kreidich. So Kelly Pratt, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And Ian Kreidich, welcome.
Hi.
So, Ian, take us back to 2017. Kelly had this great idea. Did you immediately realize that this idea was gold?
It took a little bit of convincing, I would say.
Really?
It's one of those things when you actually just, hear about it and without visualizing it and really putting it together, it was a little like, okay. All right, I'll hear you out. Let's try this. Yeah.
Well, it's good you heard her out. The proof is in the pudding on this one. Kelly, what do you think makes dogs and dancers such a great combo?
Well, I think the reasons why dogs work so well for this project is because we were able and are able to use a very wide variety of dogs, different sizes, different breeds. So it gives us a lot of variety to work with. And it's always fun. I think everyone really connects with just seeing the interactions between the dancers and dogs. Mm-hmm. Dancers in media are a lot of times shown as being maybe very serious, very dramatic. So I think our project is a little bit different in showing dancers just as silly, fun, happy people. And I think that really connects with people.
Yeah, and these dancers, they're just so good at moving. It feels like the dogs kind of play off that in a way. Do you see that sort of the dance they're almost doing with the dog as the dog responds to the movement they're making?
Oh, for sure. I mean, dogs love, once they see a person moving around, they're just really happy and they want to be like, oh, what are we doing? Are we playing? So they're really ready to just kind of get in there and play too.
So from this simple idea, this has really become a juggernaut. Ian, how many combinations of dogs and dancers have you photographed at this point?
At this point, I know we're well over 100 dancers and 100 dogs. It's always, we lose track after a while.
Sure.
Once we reached our goal. But yeah, it's been we've traveled all across the country, and it's been really great.
So tell me this. I mean, these photos are just so great. How much time do you spend on set with each pair to produce, say, one of these wonderful images?
Well, so each dancer and dog is on set usually for about an hour and 20 minutes. So that extra 20 minutes is pretty much for the dog to get on set and really just kind of get used to their surroundings. This is usually, unless they are a very trained dog who's, done photo shoots, this is a new thing for them. So we let them kind of come in, get used to what the surroundings are, meet their new partner if it's not the dancer's own dog, and then the rest of that hour is just for us making images.
Okay, so it takes just a little bit of warming up to get them there. And you mentioned that, this is now not just dancers with their own dogs. You're also highlighting these dogs at Stray Rescue. That's got to be a bit harder when you have a dog who doesn't really know the person well. Ian, what does that add to the situation?
Yeah, definitely. When we initially started, we did always work with people's pets, basically. So adding into this aspect, rescue dogs that we don't really know their background. So we have to be really, kind of go at their pace and just take it really slow and easy. And, a lot of these dogs amazingly just fit right in and they just go for it, and it works out great. So, yeah.
I assume Stray Rescue is sort of screening dogs. They want to find a dog who'd maybe be up for the experience, not one who's going to be super skittish.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say Donna at Stray Rescue does an amazing job of, she's kind of their, I hate to use the word dog whisperer, but maybe that's the right term.
Perfect.
As far as she's just so great at reading dogs and knowing what dogs will work well with us.
Okay. Well, these dogs just do a terrific job, but I have to ask, why not dancers and cats? Would cats go for this?
We have actually done a couple cats, and we have a couple cats in the Muttcracker images, actually, the last 2 years. And it's pretty much our worst kept secret right now is that we've been planning on working on dancers and cats. It was supposed to happen in 2020, but of course, with everything going on, it was hard to travel and make a lot of new work, but that's our plan.
And do the cats cooperate, Kelly, in the way that, these dogs, as you say, they want to move with the humans and they're so into this. Do the cats bring that same attitude to the project?
When they're kittens, they're usually fine. We have found out. The older cats, we have figured out we will probably have to work with more trained cats that have been trained to be on photo shoots and that kind of thing, just because cats by nature are a lot less easygoing as far as meeting new strangers and going to new places. So it is something we're trying to take into consideration when we move on to that.
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised by that, but I have to say Dancers and Kittens has a certain ring to it.
Yeah.
Ian, do you think maybe you could just do a kitten version and not have to worry about these grumpy old cats?
Well, yeah, definitely. We actually just got our own kitten of our own, so we're grooming her to join in at some point. And kittens make it maybe easier, maybe not. I don't know.
So you're going to turn this kitten into a supermodel, I presume, right?
That's the idea. Yep.
Well, so look, I know you guys are here to talk about this Muttcracker campaign, and that's a really important campaign. Kelly, is this just about raising awareness, or is this about turning the individual dogs in this into objects of desire?
Well, it's actually been both. We have been really successful, I think, in the last 3 years of doing Muttcracker. All of the animals that have been featured have been either adopted within the first few days of being featured, or some of the animals that have maybe more physical issues, maybe, disabilities, that kind of thing. They might take a tiny bit longer, but we've been really successful in helping Stray Rescue get these animals adopted, and also getting the word across the country, not only in St. Louis, just to really consider rescue animals as opposed to, just making sure you have to get a dog or a cat from a breeder.
Just to let people know, this is a great option. These are some good dogs here. So these images, I know you've had various moments throughout your long now project here with dancers and dogs. Things have gone viral here and there. Have you had a stray dog go viral yet?
I think probably our most successful single image from this Muttcracker project has been, there was a dog last year. His name was Scooch. He was kind of a pit bull mix, and he was in a wheelchair, and I think he really connected with people. I think people just kind of saw the light in him, and he had a lot of fun personality, and he had a wheelchair, and it was really just kind of something that connected, that people just really felt for.
So, and then Scooch did end up getting adopted as well?
He did. He actually ended up getting adopted from his actual foster family. I think they couldn't let him go. They were so connected with him that they just kept him with them forever.
Well, that's a happy ending. I mean,
yeah,
that's the best possible outcome for Scooch. That's amazing. So in addition to all the good work you're doing for Stray Rescue here, you published your first book of images from this project last year. I know this went through Kickstarter. Ian, what kind of response did you get from people for this book?
We were really amazed at the response. We raised over $43,000 on our Kickstarter for our book to self-publish it, and this was our first time going through the process of self-publishing a book. And we were really just blown away by how, the response we got on Kickstarter.
And that continues. People can still get that book today. It's too late for the Kickstarter, obviously, but they can still purchase the book.
Yes, the book is available on dancersanddogs.com and Amazon, and partial proceeds from the book actually do go to Stray Rescue.
Oh, that's great to hear. And Kelly, in addition to the work you're doing now for Stray Rescue, you guys also do commissioned shoots for people who want a picture like this of their family. Does it work quite as well when people aren't professional dancers, or how does that work?
Oh, I mean, it's always more easy when, dancers are professionals, obviously. They know where to put their body and how to pose. They've done it for a long time. But I have a lot of experience working with students as well. So I would say it's definitely not a problem. We will always work to accommodate what level that the dancer is at.
And has there been a lot of interest from people wanting to commission one of these for their family?
Oh, sure. We get a lot of interest as far as, people wanting to have pictures with their dogs. I think everybody wants to show off their interests.
Well, so I have to ask, I mean, for those of us who have dogs that maybe don't end up looking quite so photogenic as some of the wonderful dogs in your photos, what would be your number one tip for people who are trying to get a good photo of their beloved pet?
Well, first of all, I think the biggest thing when trying to take pictures of your dog is to really work on your basic commands. Your best friends are going to be sit and stay and maybe even down. That way, if you can get a picture of your dog and they're able to stay with you, able to back up a few feet, that's really going to help you out. So work on those first. And also I'd say one of the biggest things is getting down on your dog's level, as opposed to standing above them at a human level. Maybe get down on your knee if you can, or even sit down so you're at the same eye level as them. That way you make a really good connection.
Boy, this is some good advice, although now I'm realizing where the problem is for my dog. He never did learn stay. He's a little too old to learn that trick by now. But Ian, I'm interested. It was Kelly who kind of had to talk you into this project in the first place. So you've been doing this now for almost 4 years. When she first dreamed this up, did you ever imagine you'd still be doing it so many years later and there'd still be such interest in it?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I mean, we a lot of times we talk amongst ourselves that, can you imagine that, 4 years ago, did you imagine this is where we'd be? I had no idea where it would take us, and we're so grateful that it has taken us down this road, to just be able to share this work. And it's been great.
Overall, Ian, for you, what's been your favorite part of all the many facets of this project?
I think probably my favorite part is we've been able to work with some really well-trained dogs that are, I guess you could say they're celebrity dogs. They've been on Broadway and been on commercials and TV shows and movies, and being able to work and see how those dogs are trained and what they can do is just absolutely amazing, and it's so much fun to be on set with them.
That totally makes sense, and yet I have to ask, I mean, you mentioned you guys just got a kitten. At some point, are you maybe getting a little tired of dogs?
Oh,
I don't
not.
know. Yeah.
Oh, I heard an I don't know in there. Ian, are you getting a tiny bit tired of dogs, maybe?
No, I think, we're always trying to make things fresh and new and always, reinvent things as much as we can. So, definitely not tired of dogs. We still love dogs.
So this kitten can maybe be a muse to take you in a new direction, but, you're still all in with the first love here.
Yes, definitely.
And Kelly, for you, I was asking Ian about his favorite aspect. Has there been a different favorite aspect for you of all these many dog and dancer shoots?
I definitely agree. I like working with the dogs, and also we've just been able to make a lot of new friends actually across the country. These different dancers we never would have met otherwise, or different dog owners and trainers. So it's been really amazing to really make some actual close friends just across the United States just because of this project. That's been amazing.
Yeah, no, that's great. And the work is it's wonderful. These photos are just guaranteed to put a smile on your face. We're going to make sure to get a whole bunch of them linked on our website. That's stlpublicradio.org. And the website there, that's, don't let me say this wrong, dancersanddogs.com?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was about to switch the two. I stopped myself just in time. Well, I want to encourage people to check that out and also get a look at this social media and see what they're doing for stray rescue. So, Kelly Pratt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
And Ian Kreidich, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that again is dancersanddogs.com. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th, with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.